Money matters are at the forefront of voters' minds. We just heard about Pennsylvania in particular. But overall, 48% of likely voters in the latest CNBC Change Research States of Play survey said that the economy was the most important issue facing the country, followed by the COVID-19 pandemic and political corruption. Joining us right now to talk more about the election, the economy, and specifically what the results could mean for American small business is Kevin O'Leary. He's chairman at O'Shares ETFS Shark Tank. He's a Shark Tank co-host and a CNBC contributor, and of course, Operation Hope chairman and CEO John Hope Bryant. Gentlemen, we've been putting the two of you together through this election cycle just to talk about what it does mean for small business, and now we're getting down to the wire. John, I know you did a survey of the Operation Hope small businesses. First of all, how many businesses is that? And second of all, what did you find?
We have 4 million clients, and we did an overnight survey of probably 1,000 of them, just a pop survey to get a sense for their post check. And I was a little surprised. It tracks a lot with what we've been saying on this program. They're, yes, concerned about things like funding, and actually they want assistance really with things like marketing their business and mentoring, which is similar to what we announced on your program with Shopify, the 1 Million Black Business Initiative. But the thing is really driving their concerns is stability. They want a plan. So they're oddly enough impacted by the lack of political stability in their business. Half of course, America's employees are employed by small business. So nearly 50% say that the external effects of political instability is affecting their balance sheet and ability to operate their business.
We'll come back to that in just a moment and dig a little deeper. But Kevin, you're an investor in a large number of small businesses. What do you see with the businesses that you're an investor in? What would you hope to see?
Well, because we've now gone through almost 7 months of pandemic, I have a pretty crystal clear view of what's happened to the different sectors I'm invested in. And I would take a slightly different position than John. 80% of my companies are really, really thriving, doing very well. Those that are not involved in entertainment or food services or cruise lines, that kind of thing, which we have. And the wedding industry obviously has been hurting. But the other 80% are very, very happy. And I'm a policy guy, Becky. I look at policy. You know, people are trying to predict the outcome of this election. It's impossible because I've always thought the polls should have a sticker on them saying for entertainment value only does not predict outcome. That's the same in every country in the world right now. But I am not an advocate now of massive stimulus for small business, and that may come as a surprise to you. Most small businesses that are going to survive have figured out how to do that now. I would rather see, and John and I disagree on this a little bit, most of this capital going to employees of sectors like the airline industry, which I think has to go through bankruptcy to get the right capacity. For people that are displaced in restaurants, I want to support those employees for the next 14 months, regardless of who's president. And I will say one thing regarding the outcome. I got no policy from the debates, except for that moment in the second debate when it became clear, and I'm just speaking now for what I'm going to make a prediction about the outcome tonight. And if Biden, in fact, loses, it'll be because of a 40-second dialogue regarding shutting down the hydrocarbon infrastructure, where in my investing world, we think about 8 million jobs exist in the steel industry and the fracking industry. Many people don't realize 41% of fracking is done on federal land. So if you close that down, I don't want to be biased, one president versus the other, but if you're a family in Pennsylvania, in Texas, in Ohio, it affects your entire livelihood. And that was not lost in that debate. I think if Biden loses, we will go back and see that as the pivotal point where he lost major swing states. He should have never talked about shutting down hydrocarbons. A big fail on that one.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.